and it's very good for both the U.S. economy and for the world economy and for our region as well. And the reason is that it will be a big boost to the economy of the U.S. Already, most analysts have revised the estimate of the U.S. growth forecast this year by about 2 percentage points. The Federal Reserve actually came out with an estimate of 6.5% last for this year, up from about 4.5% before. So it's a big boost to the U.S. economy, and that means that there'll be greater demand for imports. It'll be a boost for the global economy, and also a greater demand for exports from the region. So overall, it's a very good news for the region.
Okay, United States government tries to speed up the recovery right now. Inflation target might be reached faster, and it's reflected from the increasing of yield of U.S. Treasury. What kind of the risk that will be happens in emerging market? The risk of the capital flow, or another risk?
Yes, there's a lot of concern about the risk of higher inflation. I think this is well recognized by the Federal Reserve. In fact, their own estimate of inflation for this year is that it will go up to about 2.4% by December and then come back down to about 2% for the next 2 years. So the Fed is very aware that inflation will go up, but it's also contained because there's a lot of slack in the economy. The U.S. labor market, as you know, is still has a large unemployment of about 10 million. So they are not particularly concerned about the temporary rise in inflation. But because of the rise in inflation, interest rates will go up, and this means that interest rates in emerging markets will also be higher. This will lead to temporary volatility, but this is a renormalization of interest rates. And once rates have stabilized, capital flows will also come back into the region again. I think the other concern is whether the Fed may speed up its tapering policy, meaning that they will raise the interest rate earlier than expected. Again, I think the Federal Reserve came out yesterday to say that they'll keep interest rate low for the next 2 years. So I think the next expected increase is 2023. So we can expect the Federal Reserve rate to hold for this year and for next year.